Welcome to a journey into one of the most profound mysteries in the Bible, the fall of Satan, a being created in absolute perfection, who inexplicably became the embodiment of evil. This enigma has confounded theologians for centuries. Today, we will not only explore the facts, but dig deep into the how and why. How could an angel, flawless in every way and standing in the very presence of God, fall so dramatically from grace? What does this reveal about the nature of evil itself? The Bible leaves no doubt Satan was created by God through Jesus Christ as a perfect being. He was not merely another angel, he was the anointed cherub, draped in unimaginable beauty, wisdom, and power. Ezekiel paints a picture of Satan walking among the fiery stones on the holy mountain of God, blameless in his ways. But here lies the perplexing mystery. How could such a pinnacle of creation devolve into the ultimate symbol of corruption? How did pride, the deadliest of sins, infiltrate a heart that was once pure and undefiled? This question challenges the very boundaries of human understanding. The Bible does not begin by explaining the origin of evil, but simply acknowledges its presence. From the outset, Satan is already there in the Garden of Eden, scheming and opposing God. But how did he come to be there? How did the first sin, not Adam's but Satan's, take root in a being created in perfection? To dismiss it as merely free will is to oversimplify. Free will is not an explanation. It's merely the label for a mystery far deeper than we can fathom. How could a being of perfect goodness ever experience an imperfect impulse? Isaiah 26:3 tells us, "You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you." Lucifer, despite being one of the cherubim that covered God's throne, allowed his mind to drift. Even in the radiance of God's glory, his thoughts wandered, contemplating a reality independent of God, a realm where he could be an authority in his own right. This same seductive possibility is what he later presented to Adam and Eve, suggesting that they could be like God. When we lose trust in God's provision and believe we can improve upon his perfect creation, we walk the path of Satan. Remember, whatever God does is perfect. It endures forever. Nothing can be added to it, nor can anything be taken from it, for God does it so that men will fear and worship him. Satan cannot desire any reality or position beyond what God has assigned him without facing consequences. When a created being, like Satan, yearns for what belongs solely to the Creator, such as supreme authority or worship, it's a direct rebellion against the order established by God. This arrogance leads to inevitable downfall, as it defies the boundaries set by the Creator for his creation. The Bible offers us subtle clues. Isaiah speaks to God's sovereignty overall, including sin, without being its author. Could it be that God, in his infinite wisdom, allowed a divine hiddenness, a cloaking of his glory, which led Satan to foolishly prefer himself over God? Consider this. Just as light creates both the brilliance of day and the shadows under a tree, could God's withdrawal of his manifest presence have sown the seeds of pride in Satan's heart? Isaiah and Ezekiel delve deeper into this tragic tale. It wasn't just beauty that caused Lucifer's fall, it was the pride that his beauty incited. Lucifer's adornment was not arbitrary. Every precious stone that covered him was purposeful, enhancing his role as a celestial leader. His appearance was a reflection of his divine duty. But instead of glorifying God, he began to admire his own reflection, seeking meaning from within rather than from the Creator who fashioned him. Imagine the grandeur of Lucifer, covered in sardius, topaz, diamond, beryl, onyx, jasper, sapphire, emerald, carbuncle, all set in gold. Such magnificence was not enough for him. In a grand house, there are vessels of honor and dishonor. Lucifer, though crafted for honor, sought more. He desired to be not just close to God, but to be like God, to usurp his throne. This pride didn't merely lead to his expulsion, It was a rebellion born from a discontent that defies our understanding. Jesus warned his disciples with chilling clarity. "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." This wasn't a mere recounting of past events. It was a dire warning. Pride, no matter how subtle, is a gateway to a fall as catastrophic as Satan's. Jesus emphasized that their joy should not lie in their power over demons, but in their humble service to God. This lesson resonates through the ages. Pride is the root of all other sins, and its danger is ever present. Satan's rebellion did not end with his fall. He lured a third of the heavenly host to join him in his revolt against the Almighty. This act of treachery sealed their fate, leading to eternal condemnation. Revelation symbolically describes this as the dragon sweeping a third of the stars from the sky. But what drove these angels to follow him? Was it his sheer charisma, his persuasive words, or something far more insidious? A deeper, inherent mystery within the nature of evil itself. The angels who followed Satan were not merely swayed by his charisma or persuasive words. They were seduced by a profound and insidious mystery within the nature of evil itself. A mystery rooted in pride and the desire for power. This rebellion reveals a fundamental truth. Evil, by its nature, distorts perception and corrupts the heart, turning even the purest beings against their creator. These angels, blinded by Satan's deception and their own yearning for autonomy, chose to rebel against the order of God. Their choice, however, came with a price: eternal condemnation, illustrating that any attempt to defy the divine will inevitably leads to ruin. This serves as a stark reminder that true wisdom lies in humility and submission to God, the only source of perfect order and righteousness. As we draw to a close, we must acknowledge that while the origin of Satan's sin may remain a mystery, one truth stands unshaken. God is sovereign over all. His governance over the presence and absence of sin is not by direct causality, but perhaps by the very act of veiling his face. This scriptural insight may not answer every question, but it directs us to a profound understanding that even amidst the enigma of evil, God's justice, goodness, and sovereignty are unassailable. Let this mystery not lead us to despair, but to a deeper reverence for the one who holds all things in his hands. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. If you found this discussion intriguing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the Bible's most profound mysteries.